Since we're in a nautical mood, let's have a look at the monarch of the seas, that great old Cunard ship, the Queen Mary. She's found a permanent home at Long Beach. She was bought by the city of Long Beach back in 1967 for about $3.5 million. She was in service for 31 years, during which time she crossed the North Atlantic more than 1,000 times, and she served as a troop ship during the Second World War. Hitler had a standing offer of $250,000 to any U-boat commander who could sink her. Needless to say, she showed a clean pair of heels to any would-be attacker, as any well-bred lady would. But she did not survive the competition from post-war airlines quite so easily. She was eventually sold when the money moved out of transatlantic voyages. Her last trip was one of her longest. 15,000 miles from Southampton to Long Beach, California, via Cape Horn, the southern tip of South America. Paradoxically, that last trip, with 1,200 passengers on board, made a profit, but not enough to save her. Today, the Queen Mary is a floating museum, hotel, conference center, and a pretty big tourist attraction.
This is quite a limousine. It's a 1935 Daimler, and it was the personal limousine of the late Queen Mary of England, after whom the ship is named. Her name is RMS Queen Mary, Royal Mail Ship. Now this mail, plus a long list of other items, were loaded and unloaded with the help of these overhead booms. The booms are connected to the foremast, and if you'll take a look way up at the top of the foremast, 74 feet up, you'll see the ship's crow's nest. Okay, if you're ready to continue, go right out along that catwalk out to the bow. And there's a guide there who will tell you all about it.
Electrically operated, and as you see, the chain is wrapped around it. So when it would turn, it would raise and lower the anchor. The black and white objects around the bow, these are capstans. These also are electrically operated. They have lines wrapped around them, and they would turn rapidly, pull the ship in along a port, act something like a winch.
There are three ways of communicating here on the wheelhouse, and the first is these voice tubes right over here. The second means of communication were the loudophone on the bulkhead behind you. Now, these are 4 telegraphs. We had 4 engines, and these do go directly to the engine room. Let's say we wanted to give a command to the men in the engine room to start the engines to full steam ahead, and the needle would move to full speed ahead. Let's see how it works. We sent the command, and there's the bell and the needle moves. Now let's see if he's carrying out his command. Over here, we have the RPM indicators. This tells us how fast the propeller or the screw of the ship is turning. You'll notice it's turning at 172 revolutions per minute. This is about 33 miles per hour or 28.5 knots.
Here's a little bit of old England, Oxford Street. Wonder if there's a Winston Churchill restaurant in London's Oxford Street. Must remember to find out. Trust the ladies not to be able to pass a telephone. Do you think she's telling her husband or boyfriend that she's all at sea? I do hope not. The last of the great transatlantic liners has earned her retirement here in California's sunshine. A grand old lady whose career spanned 3 decades. For many, she is a storehouse of memories, a vessel which carried everyone from corporals to kings. Young people are impressed by the ship's majesty, a giant in stature with great dignity, a reminder of gracious days gone by. Long may she enjoy her retirement.